What's up, you guys? Welcome to the final Vlogmas of the year. Hey, what's up? Get it, what's up? It's the last one. It's the last one, mommy. So, today, I didn't want to just do a good old vlog because if you haven't heard already, we're gonna continue the vlog partay the entire year. That's right. I'm not going anywhere, honey. You're gonna see me 3 times a week starting the new year. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm gonna be posting my vlogs, but I'm still vlogging daily. That just means that the vlogs are gonna be thicker. Yeah, you're not gonna miss a heart pieces. But today, we're not gonna do a vlog. I wanted to wrap up the year by planning for the next one. So let's plan for the new year using my brand new hardcover planner. Okay, first of all, can we talk about the fact that the phone mount is literally in the freaking way? But okay, girly pops, I am so excited to break in my new planner. Check the link in the description if you want to get your own. I also have it in pastel, so I got you covered, sis. But okay, let's get into it. Okay, let's start off with our yearly spreadsheets. In my 2024 overview, I'm going to write down my 12 goals for the year. Think of it kind of like your New Year's resolutions, your goals, like what is it that you want to accomplish in the new year? Maybe you want to close your books, be a Pilates girly, travel internationally. Maybe you want to start eating healthier. Maybe your goal is to have X amount of money in your savings account. Think of your 12 goals and write them down. Also, don't overthink it. You want to make it fun. You want to make it personable to you. Once you write down all of your goals, we're going to move on to the year at a glance. Here's a helpful tip. Use all of the goals that you just wrote down and start putting them on your year at a glance. For example, my goal is to run a 5K. So obviously, I'm not going to put January, run a 5K. Of course not. What I'm going to do is break it down. So in January, I'm going to run a quarter of a mile. In February, half a mile, and so on and so forth. If your goal is to read more books in the new year, schedule what books you're going to read for what month. If you want to go on an international trip, maybe consider budgeting in how much it's going to cost and how long it's going to take you to get there. Another reason I like the year at a glance spreadsheet is because it lets me see how busy I'm going to be in what months. For example, for me, I'm gonna be super busy in February and October. This is gonna help me so much so that when things come up, I can kind of balance myself out. All right, talking about balance, let's move on to the next page. I think it's super important that you think about all categories in life so that you can have a good life balance. So what helped me fill in this page is by thinking of it like in a perfect world. So in a perfect world, what would I do to enhance my career, my self-care, my finances, my community, and so on and so forth? Some examples for self-care could be taking care of your skin, getting your lashes done. Personally, I really find this page helpful because I definitely don't have a balanced life. For example, I really neglect my home. If you know me, you know I can be a little messy. So for me, writing down that I want to do weekly deep cleans is going to help me so much. Of course, this is just me saying I'm gonna do all this, but just seeing it all in a sheet will definitely motivate me to get it done. So take advantage of this sheet. In a perfect world, how would you balance your life? And just like the last page, I combine this with the bingo card. That way you can look at everything that you wrote down on your life balance and turn it into a game. Look at your bingo card as things that would be nice to have or to happen. It would be nice to pay off my car. It would be nice to go to Disney. It would be super nice to sell my first advanced training course. Comment down below, what would you put in your bingo card? If you run out of ideas, write down the 12 goals that you wrote down in the page before. For example, I wrote down being a speaker, again, running the 5K. Another thing you can do is write down first of the year. For example, the first fancy dinner of the year, your first Pilates class, your first out-of-state training, your first business trip. You get the gist. Alright, now we're gonna move on to our monthly spreadsheets. I ended up changing my pen because the other one was giving me a hard time, but this one, I love this one. Low-key, I think I'm in my disco girl era. I highly recommend that you look back at your year at a glance sheet to see what you wrote down for that month. That way, when you look at your month at a glance, you can start taking action. For example, Set on a Mission is having their first event ever, so I have to make sure that I schedule the content. I'm also working on my training, so I wrote down which training I'm going to drop first. I'm launching the podcast, so of course I had to note that down. Events and birthdays are pretty self-explanatory. I just jot down what's happening, when it's happening, if there's birthdays that I have to attend. By the way, Lasheria is officially turning 1 year. Yes, I've been lashing for 6 years, but I rebranded last year, so Lasheria is just a baby. Then I moved on and reflected on the last month. December was hectic for me, so I just shared my thoughts. I wrote down what I learned and overall what I got out of last month. And now I get to write down this month's goals. A big one for me is to stay organized, hence the planner. Lastly, we're gonna do our 3 focuses. For me, it's training, the 31 tips and tricks that I'm doing on Instagram, and Set on a Mission. But okay, is it me or is anyone else jealous of those girlies who have the best handwriting? Because I could never. Okay, let's get back to the planner. Next page, we have our goal reacher. So remember the 3 focuses that you wrote down in the last page? Well, in this page, you get to take action. That's right, we're making it happen, sis. Just like the Spanish quote says, your only limit is your mind. So let's get to it. I think it's important that you write down your obstacles. There's a reason why you haven't achieved your goals. Why? Write them down. That way you can tackle it and write down your action plan. How are you going to tackle those obstacles? What can you do to overcome them? For me, it was very much, I haven't done this, I haven't done that. So when it came to the action plan, I wrote down, do this, schedule this, do that. I feel like sometimes when we put it in our head, it becomes a bigger problem than what it needs to be. And when you write it down, you realize, oh my gosh, I can totally do that. And yes, technically, we're still talking the talk and not walking the walk, but don't worry. That's coming up next because we are officially in our weekly spreadsheets. This girly pop is your agenda. This is where you're going to schedule in everything that you need to do to achieve your goals. But you're gonna do it in bite sizes. Like I said, I'm not gonna run that 5K all in one sitting or standing, but okay. This to-do list is not like any traditional to-do list. This is Eisenhower's matrix. If you do not know what this is, you can do a quick Google search, but let me just explain really fast. This is a tool to prioritize your to-do list. Instead of writing a bunch of things that you have to do for that week, you're gonna organize it into 3 categories. Urgent and important, which is your first priority. Important and not urgent, which you should do after you do the first list of priorities. And lastly, urgent and not important. This one you can delegate. Again, you want to break everything apart so that you don't feel overwhelmed. We're not doing that in 2024, honey. And now that we have our to-do list, we can break it into the week. For me, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesdays are my days off. Wednesday through Saturday are my service days. So on Sundays, what I'm going to do is make it an errand day and a home day, which means that I'm going to run all my errands and focus on my home. That might look like me cleaning the car, me cleaning my bedroom, me doing laundry. And then in the evening, I'm gonna spend time with family. Mondays are my content days. On Mondays, I'm gonna make sure I look presentable so that I can record content. In the middle of the day, I'm going to edit all of my content and I'm going to schedule it. Tuesdays are business/self-care day, so I'm going to schedule my meetings on those days, but I can also schedule facials and my lash appointments. So, depending on my to-do list, I'm going to arrange it accordingly. Now, I'm all caught up on my planner. Well, that is a wrap for the planning. Are you excited for 2024? Because I sure am. Let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be planning your year using a planner as well. Are you going to be using a digital planner? Are you going to be using my planner? Do you have one that you absolutely love? Leave it down below. I want to know. But without further ado, I'm excited for the new year. We're going to end the year strong and start the new year even stronger. I wish you all a happy new year, and I'll see you all in 2024. Peace.